Working on something for so long, you get to really understand it. And given Guthega skinks live in tight family groups, you kind of really get to know the family. I've been monitoring these guys since 2012, and you can go to a burrow, you know which pair lives there, who are their offspring, how far they've moved, how long they live for, and things like that. So it's a pretty cool system to work in. The Guthega skink is Australia's highest elevation reptile, found only in 2 isolated alpine locations above 1,600 metres, here on the Bogong High Plains and also Kosciuszko National Park in New South Wales. And their restriction to Australia's highest peaks mean they're highly threatened by climate change, as well as fire, degradation of habitat from invasive species, and human development. When we catch an animal, we first weigh it, measure it, take a genetic sample, and then microchip it. It stays there for the lifetime of the animal, and super convenient. When you recatch them, you know exactly who you're looking at. The genetics is really critical. We had a genetic study completed a couple of years ago, and we found that the Victorian population of Guthega skink have really high inbreeding and really low genetic diversity, and that's a problem under climate change because they have limited adaptive potential. So what we decided we would do was add genetics from the more diverse New South Wales population through a concept known as genetic rescue to improve the genetic diversity and overall health of the Victorian lizards. We aren't yet certain whether this is going to work and whether introducing those genes is the best move. So researching that in a secure setting is really critical, and that's why we built the field enclosure. This site had been historically cleared, so we needed to add rock and vegetation to make it suitable for Guthega skinks. The blue flagging tape represents veg that we planted last season, and the pink flagging tape is vegetation we've put in this season to sort of fill out the enclosure and make it a bit more suitable. The rocks were definitely the hardest part of this job, so we had to carry these rocks and dig them in, and we sort of positioned them in a way that mimics a Guthega skink colony in the wild. So creating those perfect microhabitats were a really key part of setting this enclosure up. So here's some of the plants that we've been adding to the enclosure. Here we've got poa, just a grass, the snowbeard heath, the really important food source, and the alpine mint bush, which is really important, creates a really nice habitat for them to thermoregulate, but it also attracts a lot of invertebrates. And we're hoping by having these established in there, we'll cover off on both the berries and the invertebrates that the Guthega skink need to eat. It's pretty exciting to see it sort of come to life now. Really happy with how the plants are taking off, and some of the microhabitats are already looking really good. Like this, for example, I can certainly see a Guthega skink making a burrow under here in a couple of years. And ultimately, if things go to plan here, we're hoping we can breed more genetically diverse animals within this field enclosure and use these to supplement wild colonies, basically improve their genetic health and hopefully their adaptive potential under climate change. Australia doesn't have the best record with animal extinctions, and hopefully the work we're doing now is going to go a long way in preventing Guthega skink from going extinct here.